Hi, I'm Brad Woltowski, and today I'm going to have a brief overview of databases, what they are, and why they are used. A database is an organized collection of data. The data is typically organized to model relevant aspects so the data can be used to store information and then later able to be searched or collect different outputs of this data. So for example, something like Expedia that has a bunch of hotels, the times that the hotels are able to be booked, the different destinations and availabilities, and so on. But a certain user just wants to be able to search from one city to another city and those available rooms and then on certain days. And those are a lot of variables to take into place. And it's hard to just search through something like a giant Excel sheet that would have all of these hotels in it. So that's where something more useful like a database and database structures come into play. Now, what are the benefits of databases? There are a couple benefits of databases that stick out primarily. The main benefit really is performance. Like I said, you can search through it so much faster, and it's easy to find this information where it's harder to find it through a file cabinet or Excel spreadsheet or something like that. The availability of this data if it's on a web server, it can be available anywhere. If it's stuck in a filing system in a desk somewhere, only that person in that office can access it. And for corporations, having a file in Tokyo and you need it in London isn't really going to work out for you. Also, this information is secure. It can be accessed through passwords in different ways that this data can be encrypted and so forth. So it really adds a benefit to storing your data this way. And now the way data is stored, it stays like how I mentioned, bring up references of Excel. Data is stored in tables with columns and rows, sort of exactly like Excel. So it's just a lot deeper. It has relationships, and there's keys and primary keys, and I'll go over that in a little bit. Mostly, there's data in these tables, and they are specified as different types of data. There's character values, which are like your strings and so on and so forth. There's ints, which are your whole numbers, and decimals. There's date and time, which you can use to store dates and maybe log in and log out when something was created, so on and so forth. There's also bits, which are like a true and false, a Boolean type value. And there's also many more that can be available in different types of database structures, whether they're Oracle or relational or non-relational databases. It all depends. Okay. So there are many key features to having data stored in a database being more dynamic. And that's all that databases can have tables that are related, and they have relationships with keys, with primary keys and foreign keys. A primary key is like the main key of the table. It needs to be unique to that table. It's how the data is indexed. It's usually a number, and it's order incrementing 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. When there's a foreign key, it's a primary key in another table that's pointing to it. So that foreign key is referencing another table. So, for example, you might have many types of users, whether they be like premier account holders or guests or so on. And maybe you want to make a distinguishing with these guests. So like you have 3 different types of users, and now the foreign key to those types of users can be 0, 1, and 2, but those keys refer to the related table of the types of users, where the different types of users will be referenced as 0 being guest, 1 being, like a regular subscriber, and 2 being a premium subscriber. And in that way, that's how foreign keys help create relationships in other tables.